Ciao nice people! Welcome to this new stream of Katawa Shoujo. We are back! We are here continuing the Hanako route. Here she is. As always, I set my stream to be slightly late. They give me this update, but okay, yeah, the options are the same. That specific option also specifically. And hello Fado, oh, hello there, just in time, that's pretty nice. So where did we stop last time? Last time I vaguely remember we talked with Lily about being a friend for Hanako. I should really take notes on what we did last time. Ah yeah, we did the party, right? We had the party with Hanako and Lily. Yes. Okay, I remember. Okay, and after the party with Hanako and Lily, we start a new day. Okay, that's the best spot to stop the stream last time, so I'm glad I stopped here. Having a new day is bringing a completely new context. I pull my door closed, ready for another day of classes. Oh yeah, another day, another Kenji we meet on the street, right? On the corridor. Finger crossed, but if you're showing me this room, I know it's Genji lurking nearby. Ah! Kenji jumpscare! I knew it! Sleep well? Kenji's sudden arrival makes me jump, and I narrowly avoid butting heads with him. I know he has poor eyesight, but he knows who I am now. Does he still have to stand this close? Oh yeah, I slept like a baby. Damn, why do people say that? Have you ever had a baby sleep? Yeah, when I was a baby. They scream all night, every night. Babies don't sleep well, ever. He kinda has a point. Well, there goes my restful state. I have to remember to never use figures of speech with Kenji. Alright, I get your point. It was a figure of speech. Yeah, sure, whatever. Where were you last night? I had a favor to ask, but you weren't around. Oh, nowhere. Walking around, surely not drinking tea with women. For a split second, I considered telling Kenji the truth. That I was spending time with Hanako and Lily. Thankfully, that split second passed as soon as it came. I was just out, checking out the local area and stuff. You know, I reckon. Good man, good. I knew you were the type to plan ahead. Anyway, what was this favor you wanted? I was going to get some takeout, but I needed change. Wait, what? I gave you money last week and you still haven't paid me back. And I was starting to think you were cool. Yeah, and I was starting to think you will return me the money I lend you, right? Kenji fishes around in his pocket and produces his wallet. And he counts out the 400 yen he owes me. I can clearly see at least two 10,000 yen notes. Hey, what the hell? Why are you borrowing money off me when you got that much cash? Kenji is a little my money, realizing that he's been had. Get off my case, man. It's bad luck to break a big note for anything less than half its value. It's the tycoon's rule. I'm not lending you anything ever. Last night dinner is going to cost me 7 years of bad luck. 7 years! Don't you think that's enough cause to help someone out? I'd get a shorter sentence if I just stole the stuff. My common sense screams at me to say something to him, but thankfully I restrain myself. Arguing a point like this with Kenji will just lead to further and more complicated discussions. Yeah, I guess you're right. Maybe you should plan those things a little better? Yeah man, I know. But I've just got so much stuff to do. It's hard. And you're never around anymore, so I'm on my own. We're supposed to be brothers in brotherhood, remember? Yeah, I get you. Global conspiracy and such, yeah. I keep my ear to the ground. Wait, I never heard the figure of speech, keep my ear on the ground. That's what the Indians did, right? Or that was in Far West movies. They keep an ear on the ground and they hear someone coming from afar. I don't know if it's even a thing. Kenji draws close enough for me to get a clear whiff of his garlic-tainted breath. You'd better, man. You're already spending less time here. That's the first thing they do. They try to split us up. Divide and conquer. Sun Tzu said that. Divide and conquer. I thought it was like a Roman thing, not a Chinese-Japanese thing. Roger that. Now, I got to be going. I've got classes. You coming? Nah, I'm tired. I stayed up all night just to make sure nothing was going to happen after splitting that knot. This guy is not doing well. As rational as ever, I see. Whatever. Night. Kenji scurries back into his room, and I hear him throwing his locks as I walk down the hallway. Okay, random encounter with Kenji is done. That's why some people can't roll their tongue, or why their second toe is longer than their big toe. How did we enter this argument? Muto beams a half-moon smile at us, obviously proud of his explanation of recessive genes. Okay, of course. Talking about genes, what else? However, no matter how impressed he is at the science that defines who we are, the classroom seems to be reduced to a stupor. Why is that bad explanation? Why is that a bad explanation can make even the most interesting thing seem worthless? I can see Muto deflate as he realized that nothing is said in the past half hour has sunk in. No. Yeah, that's. I can't really understand the feeling, but I understand how it happens. I'm still sorry for my English teacher, no one was caring anything about the lesson. Whispered conversations start to break the silence, and like an avalanche, the noise level in the class starts to rise. Defeated Muto identifies some questions from the textbook and sets to clearing off the blackboard. Almost as if expected, Hanako packs up her things and leaves as soon as people start talking and laughing among themselves. Yeah, she's probably allergic to socializing. The initial shock of seeing someone play so blatantly truant has started to fade, but it doesn't stop me from wondering. Is she leaving because she doesn't want people to speak to her, or is it just the thought of people around her shattering her peace? We could ask her. Before I can think about the topic any further, the lunch bell rings. I wonder if she was simply taking the opportunity to leave early. I think she just doesn't... I think she just doesn't want people around her, because by being around her, they might see her scar. She doesn't want anyone... Well, she feels really on the spot when someone notices her scar, after all. A lot. The usual clamor of students exchanging books for lunch reverberates around the room. And while Misha is distracted, I grab my lunch and head out of the door. Yeah, run while they are distracted! Run! Lily already sits on the tea room, setting out her lunch alone. So Hanako is not there then? Oh, Isao, how are you? I haven't met Hanako since this morning, I'm afraid. That's right, Hanako and Lily live next to each other. Somehow I think their morning conversations are slightly more grounded than Kenji's rambling. That's strange, she left class early, so I figured she'd come here. So she's still leaving class early? Yeah, I've seen her do it a few times. Lily drops her head a little and her tone of voice is notably depressed. It's very reminiscent of someone who is used to hearing bad news. I was so sure that she'd stop doing that once you two became friends. Wait. She leaves class early and doesn't come here a lot? What does she do? She stays alone, I suppose. She goes in her room. Too many people. Hanako can't handle it for long periods of time. Just the sheer pressure of living beings right near you triggers the introversion. I get it. To a certain degree. Everyone has their own pace, I suppose. Well, I was wondering about just that today. Why exactly does she leave? I'm not entirely sure myself. I personally think it's because she doesn't want to be put in a situation where she has to answer someone. I have a flashback of my first meeting with her. Then I thought she looked like a cornered animal. Maybe I wasn't far from the truth. But she seems fine with talking to you and with me a bit. It's a little more complex than that. I imagine the first thing most people ask her about is her scars and what happened. She rarely talks about it with me, but I can tell that she doesn't like to remember whatever happened back then. Leaving class and running away from discussions is her preemptive strike, if you will. Sorry, I was thinking about RPGs. Ha! Preemptive strike! Bonus action! So then how does that explain her talking to me? You said it yourself yesterday at breakfast. You tried to ignore her scars. Once she saw you weren't going to ask her about it, she opened herself up to you. I guess you're right. Maybe. I don't know. You know her better than I, so I'll take your word for it. So it's the trauma then. She doesn't want to remember the trauma, though it's something she cannot even really hide that well. She can try with her bang, but nothing more. I wouldn't worry about that. I'm sure you'll come to know her as well as I do soon enough. I welcome the prospect of her having a new friend, and the two of you have such similar interests. Well, I hardly count reading as a team sport. It's good to have company though. That's my point. Hanako is still an average person at heart. She also wants company at times like that. I see. I think. To be honest, both of you still confuse me a little. That's very natural, Isao. We've only known each other for a little while. It's reasonable to expect you to understand us, just as we can't understand you. I don't know why by reading this line, I got a flash of Doki Doki. Not because of the team, but because of the writing style. I don't know, something in this reminded me of the writing style of Doki Doki. I can't even explain why, but it's something that Monica would say while introducing us to the literature club. Don't worry, Mr. Protagonist. You know the team members for a little while. It's reasonable to expect you to understand Natsuki, as we can't understand you well, right? It's something Monica would say, I feel like. Oh, hello, Zoro. Reading can be a sport. Just scatter the pages in a forest and put Slenderman just chase you while you try to get them all. I don't think you take the pages to read them. I don't think you read the Slenderman pages after you take them. Also, what's the point in taking the Slenderman pages to begin with? I don't know the lore. Now I have a doubt. But that is half of the fun becoming friends, right? Well, to sum up, for Zoro, Hanako left again early after class, but she's not there, because she just tries to leave when there is a possibility of people interacting with her. That's nothing new, really. But now we have the confirmation that it's something to do with the trauma of her scars, which nobody knows, I suppose. That is half the fun of becoming friends, right? Yes it is. Although I suppose there is the matter of us being opposite genders. Men and women do seem to confuse each other quite often. What do you mean confuse each other? To confuse a friend with... Okay, no, it's not confusing someone for someone else. It's confusing as in the term of bringing confusion. Confusing someone. Okay. So she's saying like confusing the other gender with friendship that may look like romantic interest. And so, the friend zone. She says this with a light giggle, finding amusement at the odd little details of life. I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to start eating. No, go ahead. I think I'll eat something too. I got some books I want to drop back at the library before classes start. I'd better get a move on. You'll probably find Hanako there as well. If you do see her, can you tell her to stop by my room later tonight? I'd like to talk to her. You're not coming? Unfortunately, I have a class representatives meeting later. I'll be gone as soon as I've finished my lunch. Okay then. If I don't see her in the library, then I'll tell her in class. I'm sure she'll be back after lunch. We fall silent as we start to eat, and I take a second to reflect on our conversation. I've always thought that Hanako's shyness was simply due to her being self-conscious of her scars. But that is pretty superficial way of looking at her. Oh no, that's how I thought it was. Just when I thought I was able to see through the fog of Lily and Hanako, I realized that I'm more lost than when I started. Lily quickly finished her lunch, acutely aware of her meeting. More like cutely aware of her meeting. I don't blame her. Shizune is most likely going to be there, and I doubt she wants to give her the satisfaction of another argument. I must be off. Same time tomorrow? Same time, same channel. Tune in. I'd better head off too. I don't want to risk being late. Lily smiles gently, picks up her cane and walks out in the hall. No running in the hall. I turn my back on Lily as we head on opposite directions. For some reason I find myself hoping she doesn't get into another fight with Shizune. As much as I like Lily, Shizune and Misha and Misha have been pretty instrumental in helping me adjust, even if half of our conversation are tiny veiled recruitment attempts. Then again, I barely know either of them. Maybe they were previously leaders of some kind of secret society. So Kenji was right. But their love for each other drove them apart. Man, I need to stop reading cheap fiction. It's rotting my brain. Either that or I've got to move away from Kenji and his bad influence. It's sad that I can't tell the two apart anymore. What, Kenji and fiction, cheap fiction. I slide my books down the return chute, and they crash into the cart with a pleasant thud. Thud! Yuka, however, doesn't seem as impressed as I. Isao, you scared me! Here she is! There's nothing compared to modern brain rot. Unfortunately. I wonder how Genji will be in modern days. Also, my brother wrote me some days ago, telling me, hey, did you heard about a recent Italian brain rot? And I said, no. He told me, don't check. And I answered him, I wasn't planning to check anyway. Leave those alone, okay? No. Well, I got dragged in some sort of brain rot sometimes. Like there was I don't know, remember the deer anime, the recent deer anime with the Shika noko koishtantan. Sometimes it happens, luckily they don't last long. It's a phase. It's something that doesn't last long, luckily. Excuse me, Yuko, but I have to go to Bosco to drop this bomb in his bomb disposal bin. Hello, Bosco. 5 minutes later. Hey, wait, I still have the book. No! No! I wonder how will Bosco be dressed this time. Wait, if Bosco were like in Katawa Shoujo, how would he dress? Like to fit in with the disabled students? I would say... Honestly, I don't know. I think he could have something similar to Hanako. A fake scar on the face. Or maybe he will try to be blind. Oh, though I'm not having any arm, like for faking not having any arm, could also be a good way for Bosco to try to trick someone into fitting in. What about all of those? Sorry, I thought you would be used to that by now. Or is the literacy level here so low that nobody borrows any books? No, I think everyone here can read fine. Never mind. There are some battles that you can never win. Trying to explain jokes is one of them. My dad taught me that the hard way. Well, I actually... some people may think it's cringe, but I try to explain my puns if people don't laugh. Even if explaining puns is cringe, I kinda have to do it, otherwise if they didn't understand it was a pun, they might think I'm a weird one, like saying random stuff without a reason. No, there is a reason, it was a pun, but it wasn't understood, I had to explain, otherwise... Well, apart from not getting the reaction I wanted, that's important. But apart from that, I need to clarify, hey, I didn't say this because I'm weird, because I tried to say something funny. Yeah, that's why. I say, Yuko, have you seen Hanako about? She left class early, but she wasn't in her usual hiding place. I think I saw her sneaking before lunch. Oh, but I'm not supposed to tell anyone that! Again, your secrets. My secrets are not safe with Yuko. I just told you that I saw her leave, no need to stress out. Ah, of course. She's probably in the back. Thanks. Get any new books in recently? No, sorry. I'll let you know when we do, though. Okay. If there's one thing I know about librarians, part-time and otherwise, it's that they appreciate people who take a genuine interest in their work. I walk the now familiar path to Hanako's reading nook, picking out a few titles along the way. Just don't take out the roller coaster books. Sometimes I find it hard to discover a book that will interest me among the shelves. An author's name and a two-word title don't mean much in a sea of similar words. Yeah, that's what you do in video games. You can't just call a video game like The Big Adventure and expect people to play it. No, you need better names, you need games that grab attention. Like the first example, Slay the Princess is a good title, for example. But the title just needs to, like, catch your attention. Between the sea of infinite titles around the world, you have to catch someone's attention even for a second. That second might be enough for people to quickly glance over your game and say, oh, the cover is nice, let's see what it is about. And if the game intention or the game sounds interesting from the description, you might have a player. I think it requires more steps, unfortunately, but yeah, it's not easy. Like Untitled Goose Game. Untitled Goose? Yeah. Untitled Goose, because Untitled... It's... Also, there's a meme in that also, because there's the common knowledge that goose are pretty annoying, pretty untitled to begin with, so a game about that surely grabs attention. Or you can just make a name that grabs attention in another way, like Octo Stranded, the Gemini Dungeon Beneath Greenkeeper, Vanishing Point, a demonic gate puzzle, a demonic gate puzzle crossover banter game. Okay, I remember the name now. That definitely catches attention. It cannot not catch attention with all the text that it covers. It abstracts your view after all. That's why I always say, yeah, you should title your games better. Talking to everyone. A lot of people does mistakes. I see a lot of good games around and the titles are just pretty basic. I don't have any examples now, but usually there's a Jonathan's Adventure 2 or The Mystery of the Abyss, which can sound a little more deep, but honestly doesn't say anything. The Return of the Ghost. Maybe a little better, but still pretty generic. No. The Legend of the Dragon of the Crystal of the Hero of the Tree of the... Yeah! Exactly that. Except if you have it too long, it can catch attention because it's a parody at the end. The name is a parody. For that reason, I sometimes reread books that I read in the past. Better to bet on the favorite than the new runner. I'm quite the opposite. Not on books, but on games. When I complete a game, unless I'm completely in love with it, Rhythm Paradise, Rhythm Thief, too much rhythm maybe, I never replay it. And I always switch to a new one. Well, mostly because recently I don't play as much. Or I don't play a lot at all. I mostly play only on stream. So yeah, I love to switch to a new game because I want to see new experiences. Even if the previous one... even if I like the previous one, I just strive to see new games, new experiences. Mostly because I play games... Well, no, I also play games for discovering new experiences, but I got dragged on for a lot on Genshin Impact and on Star Rail, so that's not really the thing. Let's say, I would prefer to try games that catch me in the correct way without being addictive like with just numbers. Again, on Star Rail. I want games that drag me in with experience. The gameplay. An unfamiliar title from a familiar author picks out among the spines of its neighbors, so I remove it from the shelf. At least I'm not going over old material. As expected, Hanako sits on her beanbag, buried deep in a copy of Dance, Dance, Dance. Dance, Dance, Dance? I don't know it. Hi Hanako, how it's going? I fight back the urge to ask why she left class early. If Lily's suspicions were right, then asking her about that could have the opposite effect. Best to leave it for the time being. Sometimes the best way to get an answer from someone is to never ask the question. Hello, Hisao. I'm fine. Something seems off, and after a couple of seconds, I realize what it is. Hanako is smiling. She looks as if she's pleased to see me. It's a nice change from the usual, instinctively frightened reaction, and something I hope I can see more as we get to know each other better. Good to hear. How's that book? I've heard it's a trip. It's good. I think I've only just started it, so I don't really know. Fair enough. Let me know how it goes. I may borrow it once you're done. Sure. That's a good 15 minutes left in lunch. Not enough to really get into a book, but too much to stand around doing nothing. Just start a book, right? And Hanako is already returned to her reading, so I doubt I'll get much conversation from her. Oh well, I'd better make myself comfortable. I slouch into a beanbag and crack open my book. The familiar style of the author leaps out at me from the very first line. As the sentences turn into paragraphs, I start to relax a little. Well, since we were making a lot of games books comparisons, I have to say something I'm kinda proud of. After I released another game, I think it was Something Is Wrong With My World Map, I got a comment that says, let me see if I can find it. Like, felt like a Waldorf game. Then I realized it is a Waldorf game. Yeah, here, from Generator. I was thinking this style was pretty similar to Waldorf's. Imagine my surprise when I realized it was a Waldorf game. Those things really... I don't know how they make me feel, but makes me pretty satisfied, because I suppose I have a peculiar art style, or a recognizable one. Well, everyone has it, though some people try to do different stuff, how to say. Well, I try to make games I want to make. Maybe other people want to try games for commercial purposes, for just for a wider audience. I just don't care about the wider audience, though. No matter how I try, I can't seem to get myself into the atmosphere of the book. This is partly due to the lack of time, but the more distracting factor is Hanako. She watches me. Every 10 or so seconds, she peers over the top of her book, but when our eyes met, she quickly ducks behind the covers. I guess she did want to talk about something after all. What's up? You look like a prairie dog on a lookout. It's nothing. I told you before, nothing means something when you say it like that. Hanako squirms a little in her beanbag, hoping that by changing her position, she'll find the words she's looking for. I was in an accident. Wait! We'll get the trauma dump right away! Yeah! Out of nowhere. Accident? Just now? Are you alright? Hanako shakes her head, her hair flowing around her shoulders, in wisps of amethysts, on a background of pale and dark flesh. No, when I was younger. Realization crashes into me like a semi. A semi what? A semi-van maybe? I mean, I was an accident. No! No, she's definitely not an accident. When I was... Ah, okay, a semi-truck, yeah. It's alright, Hanako. You don't have to tell me anything if you don't want to. And then, again she shakes her head. No, I have to tell you. What's with the drawing? When I was a young boy. When I was young, I was in a fire. My house burned down. I nearly didn't make it. No! After that, I was alone. Okay, she lost her parents then, yeah. Hanako's eye glisten in the dim light of the library, and I reach out to grasp her hand. It's okay, Hanako. You don't have to keep going. But I have to. Why? What brought this on? Last night, Lily told him about your heart. And I didn't think it was fair. Oh, she's so sweet. Fair. She got the courage to tell me right ahead, the next day, right away. Did they run out of budget for this scene? I don't know, the description, the part was pretty short, so maybe they didn't want to draw anything for 3 or 4 lines. That I knew about you, but you didn't know about me. Life, my friend, is never fair. That's what someone would say. I squeeze Hanako hand a little. Don't be silly, but yes, I have a heart condition. I lean a little closer to Hanako. What I didn't tell you is that I had my first attack when a girl confessed to me. No, Isao! What are you doing? No, she will be scared of confessing to you. I smile a little to break the tension. Really? Really, I haven't heard from her for a while though. I guess it's all over. I know it's all over. There's no other way to interpret that what happened the last time I saw her. In some ways, not having heard from her again helped me move on from that period of my life. So now we both know a little more about each other. But you don't have to talk about things if you don't want to. In fact, I feel a little bad even thinking about that whole incident. I can almost smell the hospital disinfectant burning the back of my sinuses again. I imagine Hanako is going through the same thing now. When I was in the hospital, I went to the burn ward once, and only once. I was bored. I went for a walk through all the wards. I went through oncology, and thought I could take it, but when I got to the burn ward, I turned around and went back to my bed. To think that Hanako would have spent months in that place like that, smelling nothing but corrupted skin, strong disinfectant, and sterilized hair. The really bad cases were kept in isolated pods, and no foreign object could enter. That would have meant no reading. I would have gone insane if I didn't have my books in the hospital. And she said she was alone. Did her parents die? I have to ask Lily about it. I can imagine myself saying something dumb unintentionally. Thank you, Isao. I haven't told many people about this. To be honest, I haven't told many people about my circumstances either. Then I won't tell anyone either. Dear! Wow, some extra confidence here on getting a secret from each other. I changed my grip on Hanako's hand into a handshake as the warning bells chimed through the window. Well then, we'd better head back to class then, huh? Sure. Oh, it's end of the chapter? Chapter 3. Aww. Castling. Castling. Weird move to use here. Weird move. Well, she has a rook in her hand after all. Castling. Is that a metaphor for something? Well, yeah, it's a metaphor. It's hiding. It's protecting ourselves from the outside world. That's what she's doing, right? Castling. Except you need a king to castle, and who is the king? He's Zhao. Wait, no, you need a rook to castle. You need a rook to castle, since the king does the castling. So never mind. I don't think it's fitting the castling, because she's a queen, so I don't see why castling is appropriate here. Unless she's secretly a boy. Then it's a king. Yeah, it's the rook who defends the king. Well, we could interpret the king as a queen, which is Hanako at this point. And Isao is the rook. So yeah, I would say appropriate if it wasn't for the fact it's a king and not a queen. You kinda got me there. The tint of the room slowly changes from the shine of the afternoon to the orange of dusk. A clock lazily ticks away the seconds, counting in the background, on the verge of hearing. But no matter how long I wait, the outcome cannot be changed. Wait, they are playing chess. The diminutive playing piece makes a small click against the board. Like a wound spring. Hanako makes her move only moments after mine. It's embarrassing. In comparison to my 5-second move, she seems to know exactly what she wants to do. Mate. Oh, if you say it like that, Hanako, yeah, it's kind of sudden. I think we were starting to... Ah, you mean checkmate. Okay. She's She's getting pretty good, huh? At playing chess. Hanako, chill. Well, it's still a way to call someone, right? Hello, mate, how it's doing? Yeah. Again, what does this make this? 32? Stalemates don't count. Damn, you're getting better at this every day. That or she's being holding back. I never thought it when I first met her, but she's really had a knack for this game. I wonder if there's a reason. Hanako is Australian. Do Australians say mate then? Chess seems to have become a popular pastime for the two of us. Hiding away in the tea room, playing a game or two after classes. From here, the students outside can just barely be heard milling about. The everyday noises from below reminds me a little of my life before Yamaku. Though I'm by now well aware that it's life I'll never get back to. Pronounces Moit because of the accent. Good day, mate. Ah! So it's Moit? I thought it was pronounced mate. Because... Okay, it's the accent, right. Moit. Okay, then, yeah. I didn't know about the origins, though. That's interesting. Fancy another game? I have to finish my homework. Oh well, I'll see you tomorrow then. But what about this? We do homeworks together? Hanako points to the tea set surrounding the mostly empty chessboard. Don't worry about that, I got it. Oh, okay. Let's see you later. Hanako departs as I start cleaning up the area. The occasional whistles and cheers from the sporting club outside become less frequent, eventually approaching silence. A part of me still wants to be in some kind of team. Since I played soccer and other sports before my accident, I guess it's normal to feel nostalgic about what I can't do anymore. Well, what about the chess team? But I have other reasons than that for my coming here so often. And I don't feel so bad about losing that part of myself because of them. Lei is a good friend by now, but it's the small exchanges I have with Hanako that feel especially dear. The small victories I feel every day as I see more of what she's like under her self-imposed shell. That's why I came here most of all. As if I'm putting away cups and saucers, I hear talking outside the door. Pausing for a moment to listen, I can make out that it's Hanako and Lily, and decide to go outside to investigate. Are you quite sure? I'm sure. Oh, Isao! Hey, long time no see, huh? Hanako turns to see me with a look of mild surprise, as she notices my approach. Lily must have caught her just as she was about to leave. Oh my, Isao is here as well? Afternoon, Lily. What's up, mate? I was hoping now that I finished my class representative duties, that I might have the two of you accompany me for a tea at the Shanghai. It would be nice to enjoy ourselves outside of the school for a change. I'll be up for it. I think Hanako had work to do, though. It's not that much. Well, I can understand. I don't think she wants to avoid another round of chess. Just, I don't know, we could play chess how many times we want, but Lily is a little busy, so having some free time altogether is a little more uncommon than having free time with me, I suppose. It's still with me though, so I think it's fine. It seems that we're decided then. I cast my eyes across the cafe as the three of us step in. As usual, there's only a handful of people around at most, and the noise level is quite background hum. Oh, she's leaning on her. The hold Lily has on Hanako's arm remains just as it has been for the entire slow walk down the hill. No, it's the opposite, right? It's Lily on Hanako. Though it's hard to say for which reason, for Lily's guidance or for Hanako's reassurance. For a moment, Lily removes her arm from Hanako to retract her cane as Yuko quickly skitters over to where we stand, but soon replaces it right back when it had been. Welcome to Shanghai, may I take your order? Oh, hello Mutation Ivory, how it's going? Oh yeah, I like how the chat is fully green. How it's going? We are playing some Katawa Shoujo here. We are in good company here. We are now going the route with Hanako, this girl with the burning scar in the head, and we are doing what we can to help. But okay, awesome. Tom's to do though. Oh, I feel the same. I have like to complete the presentation, the slides for the presentation of the thesis like tomorrow, but I should do today. And also the next week I have to work to finish the game for the game jam, where I didn't even start the story. So yeah, there will be a lot of stuff to do. Yeah, good moment to remind that the next Sunday there won't be a Katawa Shoujo stream because it's the last evening before the deadline of the game jam. So I will probably be fully deep into the bug fixing phase. Just a heads up. And probably neither on Saturday at this point. Though from in a week, in 7 days, we are gonna start playing all the games from the game jam. So we are gonna play all of them, or at least that's the plan. Deadline approaches. Yeah, I know that's very panicking, but the worst is, again, I have a thesis to do in a few days, so I can't even fully focus on the game now. That's very troublesome. I hope when I finish I will be able to work full time in the final rush. After all, I did a game like in 3-4 days for another game jam, so I'm decently confident I can manage to do something, since the core of the game is already there. The core of the game already exists. Yeah, it's 5 days game jam. The Game Maker Toolkit game jam of this year. The last year. Oh no, there will be another one this year. Yeah, I don't know if I will be able to participate. I will see, I will see. Welcome to the Shanghai. May I take your order? She gives a deep bow. A well-delivered and professional introduction, putting her in a good mood. It's a nice change for the norm for Yuko. Justy, please Hanako? Ah, please. Hanako is out? I'll have a slice of pie and coffee. Okay, good choice for the pie. Just a please. Coming right up. Please take any seat you wish and I'll be back shortly. Thanks, Yuko. Can you order Yuko? I will check if she's on the menu. Otherwise, we can ask. Yuko gives a smile and nod before shuffling to the counter, and we make our way to some empty seats by the window in quick measure. Down on the seat, we slip in our seats. The girls on one side with Lily's cane propped up beside them, and I on the other. I realize that Hanako is not doing something that she so often does. What is it, smiling? Rather than keeping her eyes pinned to the ground and hiding behind her blind escort, busily trying to convince herself that the world around them doesn't exist, she's merely keeping her eyes low and helping Lily around. Is she getting better? A little more confident, maybe? Are you okay, Lily? You look tired. She lowers her head a little, looking somewhat embarrassed, and that she let it show. Class representative work can be very tiring, considering that it often means dealing with the student council. Yeah, I know fully well the weight of interacting with Misha and Shizune. Very tiring indeed. How do the other representatives go? Better than I, but not so much. Shizune is a harsh taskmaster, no matter whom she deals with. It doesn't sound like you particularly relish the job. Why do you do it in the first place, if that's this bad? Being a class representative is enjoyable. I can deal with the responsibility well enough. It's just the people involved are sometimes... She trails off, cutting her words at a rather opportune spot. It's hard to imagine Lily cursing, but I imagine that if anyone could make her do so, it would be Shizune. Hanako looks to be withering a bit in the light of such conflict. But before I can steer the topic away a little, she stands up. Hanako? I'll be back in a bit. What, she's going to beat up Shizune and return back? With that, she leaves for the restroom. I suppose that's one way to deal with the situation, if that was indeed her motivation. Lily, however, looks a little wounded. Don't worry about it, I don't think it was you. But... I think she's getting stronger recently. You've seen yourself, right? That went a bit awry. Fortunately, Lily doesn't look offended. And by now, I really shouldn't be quite so scared of stepping on that landmine around her. Possibly. Sometimes I find it hard to tell though. Well, it's hard to read someone when you are lacking a sight, right? She needs more power! Well, as I said last time, well, it was only for Shizune, but I would say every girl here got nerfed with this ability. Because Lily is so kind, elegant and everything, beautiful, but she's blind, so she can't see the beauty for herself. Hanako is very shy and pretty cute, but she's very scarred in both ways, and that's another nerf. The same for Shizune, she, for a different way, she talks too much, she's very aggressive, but she's mute. So that's a pretty big nerf on her part. Amy is pretty... yeah, pretty... how to say... pretty straight, goes in a straight approach. Hot-headed. But she doesn't have any leg, as if to tell her, don't run too much. So that's another nerf. Again, the girls would have been much more, how to say, the girls would have been even more powerful if they didn't have the disability. That's pretty interesting point, yeah. Silence reigns for a moment before 2 teacups, a pie and a mug of steaming coffee appears in front of us. I notice that Yuko takes special care to place the teacup against the tip of Lily's fingers, letting her know where it is. Here you go. Oh, thanks, Yuko. Thank you. With a quick and silent bow, the bespectacled waitress takes her leave. Oh, that's right. I was meaning to ask you something. Now would be the right time to do so. I'm all ears. Hanako's birthday is coming up. I was hoping that you might accompany me for present shopping in the city this week. Wait. Wasn't there the Hanako birthday event before in the Lily's route? We went to the city and met her sister. Hanako birthday soon? I suppose would be a nice chance to cheer her up a bit. Like Yuko, she always seems to be teetering on the edge of either panic or depression, and I've never seen her enjoy herself much outside of our chess games. All that aside, learning the layout of the city better with a friend, keeping me company, sounds like a good way to spend a weekend. Sure, I'd be happy to. Have you got any plans for what to do on her birthday? A party or anything? Hanako Binanako, perhaps a low-key affair would be... Yeah, a party with only our three, right? Lily suddenly cuts herself short, leaving me to wonder why as she brings her teacup to her lips and begins to sip. After a few seconds, I notice Hanako walking up to us over her shoulder. Lily's hearing must be very good indeed if it was the sound of the restroom door opening that tipped her off. Hanako takes her seat once again, and wastes no time in drinking her tea. Soon, the three of us quietly eating and drinking as the sun sets. It's a nice way to spend the remainder of the day's light, and it makes me appreciate the quiet and serene surroundings of Yamaku. I think I am really beginning to like life here, as isolated it might be. As long as it's in good company. I finish off the last of my coffee and rest the mug on the table while the girls talk between themselves. The coffee here is a little bitter than my taste is, but still quite good. Better than what I can make for myself in any case. Yeah, I never make coffee for myself. I know how to do, but I actually never drink coffee to begin with. The only times I do coffee is when I need it for the tiramisu as part of the recipe. That's the only moment. Because I don't care about coffee, I care about sweets. Tiramisu, the good stuff, okay? I'm sorry to seemingly insult coffee drinkers, but sweets are way better. The girls' discussion is mainly focused on their respective reading preferences, which does give me a little curiosity about a related topic. Hey Hanako, I was just wondering, aside from chess and reading, do you have any hobbies or things you like doing? She's completely stopped in her tracks, looking quite surprised that anyone would be interested in such a question about her, or interested. It takes her a little time to formulate a response. You broke her! Answer not present in the database. Oh? I guess I like singing a little. Hanako singing? I would never picture her singing. Never. How? How can she sing with her shyness? I'm okay with computers as well, but I don't use them all that much. Singing it's not exactly something I expected to hear. It's hard to imagine her singing voice, given how soft-spoken she is. She's probably a Vocaloid. In secret, she's a singing VTuber. Lily, on the other hand, simply nods. Wait! Hanako could do a VTuber, actually. Right? Because she can cover her scars with a 3D model. She must already know of this, Lily, since she's been friends with Hanako for 1 year or so by now. Well, what about me? She hesitates before quickly flicking her head up and down. It's only logical that she'd want me to talk about my hobbies after she told me hers. There's chess, obviously, but also... There were such as well, though I can't really do that anymore. Reading, which I picked up in the hospital? This is surprisingly hard. Lily and Hanako look a little put off by the direction this is taking. And the more I think about it, the more I am too. Sounds like as if you picked quite a few things since your accident. Lily's candor is coated with probably the most positive spin one could put on what I said. Hanako, however, is silent. If a situation becomes difficult, her reaction always seems to be withdrawing into silence, in order to prevent things getting worse. That or physically retreating, like going to the bathroom. A soft ringing gives us pause. As Lily reaches into her pocket, it becomes obvious that the sound is coming from her phone. Sorry. It's okay. She evaporated. Wait, oh no, Lily evaporates. Ah! Wait, I have the perfect one. I have the perfect sound. I have the perfect sound. How it's called? Wait, yeah. I have the perfect sound here. It's pretty hard to find, but should be this one. Yes, it is. Okay. I don't know if I can time it, but wait. I'm sorry. I need to do this. Okay. I'm sorry. I really need to. We could also. Okay. Okay. Let's go. Let's see. Ha! Wait, I can time it better. I can time it better. Wait. A little more. One more. Okay, perfect. Unfortunately, the timing is not right, but because the game is offset by 5 seconds. But I think I kinda showed my point. Okay, here. That was indeed required, okay? Okay, here we are again. She got Thanos snapped. Yeah. Well, without particle effects, though. Lily gives a quick nod before shuffling out of her seat and taking the call a little distance away, to avoid disturbing the both of us. Must be nice to be popular. What do you mean? She maybe got a call from a family member, who knows? Hanako smiles, but doesn't take up the hook for further discussion. That was a bad hook, you know. I end up just sitting back and closing my eyes, relaxing as best as I can. It's nice and peaceful here. I wonder what it would be like to have grown up somewhere like this, rather than in the city. You came from the city? Looks like I found something she wants to talk about. Yeah, because she wants to talk about you, right? Yeah, you could say I was a city kid through and through. It sounds like a lot changed. It did. I'm still not quite sure what to make of it all, though. It's a bit of a culture shock, in more ways than one. You must have gone through something like this when you first arrived at Yamako, right? I'd imagine most new students would. Not really. Hanako gazes a little to the side, looking unwilling to go on. I tipped my head inquisitively, but a couple of seconds passed with no further answer. But can't we deal with that Monday? The fallout has hardly settled from the last. Fallout? Like, it's... Wait, maybe the narration arc of Lily... Yeah, it's still the narration arc of Lily here. Lily still needs to return to go to Scotland for a while, right? She will leave me and Hanako alone. This time though, we are with Hanako 100%. I understand. I'll try to talk her down. You know what she's like when she gets locked onto an idea. Though it doesn't seem so. Maybe they're talking about the student council thing, class representative things. And she's probably thinking about Shizune. Yeah, thank you. I'll talk to you later. Goodbye. The conversation ends with a snap of her phone closing. She returns to our table, but doesn't take her seat. Need to go? Unfortunately. Okay, yeah, it was class representative. Class representative work calls once again. I can come with you. It's alright, Hanako. I'll be going straight to the student council. There's no need to spoil a fine evening on my account. Besides, if you were to accompany me on the way back to the school, we would keep our Purisao company. Thanks, really. Okay. I can join you for tea again later tonight, if you'd like. I may very well need it. We agree on that plan, and Lily says her farewells to the both of us, taking her cane after Hanako passes it to her. Despite my offer to pay for Lily's share, she insists on giving us her portion of the bill, and gives her regards to Yuko as she takes her leave. And then we're alone. It may be all well and good to leave Hanako and me alone to have some time together, but all it typically means is the two of us sitting near each other in silence for a while. I wonder what I must look like to Hanako. I never thought of myself as a scary person. But to have someone my own age acting this way around me makes me intensely self-aware, as if it's my fault that she's so troubled. She may get more used to people if she were to stop being so cloistered to Yamaku. But then again, when even people much older than her react so strongly after a single glance at her face, she may well feel the same way I do now. It's a real catch-22? What's a catch-22? Do not confuse with Ice 9. Ah, it's a book. You can look to almost any aspect of your life to find even more catch-22 examples. What is it? Let's see. An impossible situation here. It is an impossible situation because you cannot do one thing until you do another thing. But you cannot do the second thing until you do the first thing. Ah, okay. Situation that's impossible because any solution leads to a loop of problems. Ah, okay. That's interesting. I never heard of this. It's like closing the keys, locking the keys of your house in the car, but forgetting the keys of your car at home. That sounds more funny than it should. Okay, that's interesting. That's a real catch-22. If she stays in Yamako, she won't get used to socializing. But if she leaves, any effort she might try would get thrown back at her by the people who can't deal with her scarring. Want to order something else to keep us going? We haven't had much of a dinner after all. Oh, Hanako brightens and nods vigorously. Glad that I brought up the topic for her. I catch Yuko's gaze, and she dutifully comes over to take our orders. Would you like something else? I just have a sandwich special and hot chocolate. Oh, now we are talking. Bit late for coffee by now. Hanako? Comes from a book Catch-22, where the pilot tries to excuse himself from service by pleading insanity. But Command argues that... I heard about it! Command argues that if he's not insane, he's fit for service. And if correctly identifies himself as insane, means he must be sane enough! Oh, that's interesting! Yeah, I heard of this. I A lot of time ago, though. It reminds me of a joke I had with my mother and my brother about about the ambulance name in German, because in Germany the ambulance is called no, it's not ambulance. It is being ill. Being ill is called krank. Ich bin krank. But we were joking about if you can say ich bin krank or bring me to the Krankenhaus, which is the hospital, then you are healthy enough to be able to say it, right? If you're healthy enough to say bring me to the Krankenhaus, then you are not really in need to any sort of medication, right? You can say Krankenhaus, so you're completely fine, right? Get crank. What's that? Reminds me a little of the Five Nights at the F-Boys, but I don't think it's a reference from that. I left the same. Oh, we have similar tastes. Chocolate, yeah! The other level, crank. With a nod and bow, Yuko turns off the ball of her foot and returns behind the counter, where she busies herself fishing out bread and condiments and working on the machine to make our drinks. Not a word is said between us until Yuko comes back. She smiles and gives us our food and drinks before moving to a customer who's called for her attention. I give up on the prospect of having much a conversation with my companion and decide to just enjoy the meal, small as it might be. It tastes nice, and does most of the food, as does most of the food here. After having a few mouthfuls, I notice something missing, namely the sound of Hanako eating. Looking back to her, I see Hanako fidgeting a little behind her untouched sandwich. Not angry? She shakes her head side to side. Even as she does, the patch of hair she keeps over the right side of her face still does its job in hiding it almost entirely. It's not that. Oh, I was all ready to have your share too. You looked troubled. It's something wrong? I'm startled by her thinking that I'm the one who looks troubled, but on second thought, she's probably right. My face may have given away my emotions without me noticing, and she's hardly a dim person. Quite the opposite. We are friends, right? Friends. From the tone of her voice and shrinking posture, it looks as though I've hit her yet another landmine. Oh no! This is another reason why interacting with her is difficult. The self-imposed psychological barriers she put up between herself and others, including me and most likely even Lily. It's a shame that... I think that we are. Oh, I'm a little taken off guard by Hanako's straightforward answer. All the more so since I was about to give up on getting any reply at all. Stop friendzoning Elisa! That was the case. I think it was. I don't think it was that though in this case. I see. Am I wrong? Sorry, No, it's just hearing confirmation of that from you is reassuring. To pick up on what you said earlier, since coming to Yamaku, I've been a bit uneasy about how I should relate with others. I find myself chuckling a little. It's surprising how much of a relief that was. I can feel my face smiling as I pick up my cup of hot chocolate and bring it to my lips. Oh, that's hot! That's why I haven't eaten yet. I was waiting for my drink to cool down first. What about the sandwich? I guess I'll wait then. The both of us share a little chuckle. The situation isn't really that funny, but for some reason, feels like laughing is the most natural thing to do right now. I guess we were both a bit wound up about each other. I was so busy thinking Hanako was the one with something wrong. It took her to remind me that I was uneasy as well. But be that as it may, it still feels a little nice. A little nice to have someone thinking about me like that, in her own way. Oh, I feel like they're getting closer by the day. That's pretty nice and wholesome. Following a long, quiet trudge up the hill and into the school grounds, the two of us find ourselves between the two dormitories. Regular night patrols pass between the male and female dormitory buildings, both for security and to quickly raise the alarm for any medical issues that might arise. The guard currently on duty notices us and gives a quick nod as he continues on his way. A loud yawn escapes from Hanako's mouth before she has a chance to cover it. Aww, I have a little doubt she's fairly tired by now. I'd better be off to my room then. See you tomorrow, Hanako. Good night. We separate and begin to walk our separate ways before I stop and look back. Hanako stands there, waving to me as she smiles. I smile and wave back to her, and after a few seconds, she turns and walks up the stairs to her dormitory buildings, disappearing through the door. Those little moments we share between us feel like a small treasure. One thing is sure, I want to protect that small, delicate smile she so fleetingly wears around so few people. I know, huh? Must protect. So this is a decently strong declaration from the protagonist, because I feel like last time we kinda saw something, but it is pretty clear he's starting to develop something towards her. Yeah, here, I wonder about those feelings I have when Hanako is around, and when I'm able to do things for her, whether they may be the seed of something beyond what we shared now. We will see, or we will know, or we know! Just give it time. The summertime sun is something to be savored, but when combined with the clean country air, it's all the better. The track field and field club members are horsing around on the field ahead. Some are playing with a soccer ball. Others are talking, and a few laugh as two of them mock fight with each other. None of them pay me any heed as I sit alone on the grass, underneath the shade of a particularly large tree. It's a nice and peaceful moment after a dreary day of schoolwork. I played soccer. Oh, was approaching. I played soccer pretty often before my heart attack, so I thought it would be really nostalgic to watch them. What I'm feeling now, though, is quite distinct from that emotion. Who the hell are you? Who the hell are you? That's a new character. We saw her in the intro sequence, like in the first ever stream, right? New route! New route unlocked. Yeah, she's a nice girl. I think could be interesting. Let's see the character, sure. The one-handed. Well, still more than Rin. I hear footsteps approaching from behind me, and I turn to my side to see one of my classmates taking a seat beside me. I'm taken off guard as the two of us haven't talked much before, and I didn't think anyone would notice me here. What's the sound of one-handed patting? One-handed patting is still one hand too much. Sap? Okay, never mind. She's a pretty interesting character now. If you start introduction with Sap, then it's off to a good start. Hi, Miura, wasn't it? Isao, read the name tag. Read the name tag, Isao. Just call me Miki. Okay, it's right. Surnames are too stuffy. Come on, I need the Miki route now. She got me with like 2 lines. 2 lines was all it was needed. 2 lines, the sup and surnames are too stuffy. Come on. I thought she would have been a simple side character with a plain character. No. She is pretty interesting. Oh no, she's American. Well, partially. Without the rest of the hand, she's not fully American. You could see. No, that doesn't sound... That sounds bad, though. Never mind. Likewise, then. We both look back out to the field, where the guys are playing. Looks like they're getting ready to have a second game, with people spreading out to their position, and the ball being carried to the center of the field. Sure enough, the whistle is blown to begin the match, and they get right back into it. Not going to play? Oh no. I thought about a bad joke. Imagine like her or Rin playing football, and then the arbiter calls for a yellow card. Oh, you touch it with your hands, and then realizes, oh no, oh shit, I messed up. No, I'm sorry. Something like that. Miki, give me a hand. Well, she can. She actually can. Not going to play? Nah, just gonna rest for a bit. What about you? You kinda looked like you wanted to play when you were watching us before. So someone did notice me after all. It's kind of a long story. Her face says that I piqued her interest. I'm in Yamaku because I got a heart condition. I can't really play soccer anymore. Wanted to be a soccer player, did you? No, I only did it for fun. My friends played it, so I played it as well. Okay, I hand it over to you. Fado, hands down, you're being the meanest one now. Hands down. Any of those guys playing around could have been me before the accident. But I don't feel like I have any real wish to go back to that either. It's a little hard to explain. I'm still decently physically built from the days when I played, even if my strength is largely left me by now. And I got on well with the other club members. When I think about it, I should feel pretty bad watching people play, when I can't anymore. Yet I don't. Maybe it's a good thing, a sign that I've gotten over it and that I'm ready to become a new person. Sorry, I'm kinda rambling. It's cool, I'm actually glad to hear that. Sounds like you really have your stuff together. Some of the people that come to Yamaku are pretty messed up at first. So you're a member of the track and field club then? Yup, been in it since I first arrived. Don't suppose you're friends with Emi? Short, fast runner, no legs? I don't think there are all that many female track and field members. Emi, everyone knows about her, don't they? But nah, I tend to get on better with guys, so me and Emi don't really talk much. Anyway, what about you? Well, he only knows girls. Well, and Genji. Oh, well, I'm not really in any clubs. Real clubs, anyway. I'm in the chess and the tea club. You've been hanging around with Hanako and that blonde Amazon though, right? Amazon? It's 170 centimeters, not even that tall. Blonde Amazon. I suppose Lily has the height to fit the description. If... I don't think she did see any real Amazon though. Definitely. What's Lily Quid? If nothing else, I nod in response without making too fine a point of things. Then don't worry about it. As long as you've got some friends, you don't need to join a club. A loud whistling from the field attracts our attention. One of the players is on the ground, clutching his leg, and the others stop play to jog up to him, leaving Mickey grimacing. Ouch, that looks painful. That guy really has bad luck. Well, don't all of us have bad luck for being there, huh? For being here. As she continues to look out onto the field, I can't help being reminded of her own injuries. Her left arm, ending in a stump rather than in a hand, has been bandaged up for the entire time I've been in Yamaku, and her injury doesn't seem that new. She turns to talk to me again and catches me looking. Oh no, both of us sit in awkward silence as she takes her bandaged arm and holds it in her lap with other remaining hand. Sorry, I guess I'm still a bit... It's fine, really. Her tone is light, but neither of us say anything afterwards. Every disabled student here has their own way of dealing with the problems, and some finding their condition troublesome is only natural. I'm included among them, after all. The injured guy from soccer... I never know how to pronounce... Soccer game manages to get onto his feet with some help, and ends up hobbling off the field with one arm over the shoulder of another for support. Probably just pulled a muscle if he can still manage to walk. The whistle blows again, and the game continues once more with one less man on the field. What with expression? Hanging out with Hanako and that blonde girl, you keep some pretty strange company. How so? It's just that Hanako is kind of, I don't know. Shy? No, it's not really that. It's just, she's got some issues, I think. I can't really put it in a nice way. Not that I don't think she's a nice person, though. She's perfectly nice. Just hard to deal with. It sounds like Miki, or at least some other people in the class, have tried to get closer to Hanako in the past. And that didn't go well. I think her judgment is rather harsh, given that everyone, not just those in Yamaku, have their own issues. Then again, I haven't known Hanako for that long, so it wouldn't surprise me if there was some stuff I didn't know about. Well, I feel like now we know more of her, though we don't know how many details. I feel like we are missing something on the friends' point of view, because she felt traumatized even in that field. I'll just take it as it comes. She's a nice person. I think that should be all that matters. Miki's eyes narrow a little, and her smile spreads. You really like her, don't you? Oh, you got me! Miki certainly doesn't mince words. What do we do here? That's weird, because we are telling someone if we like someone. I feel like that's... Well, though it's phrased in a different way, it's admit it or deny it. No, wait, deny it. Because we need to consider that Hisao is not really... doesn't really fully know he's in love with Hanako. He's starting to feel that he has some sort of interest in her maybe, but not really love attraction. So I would say to admit it, also to make Hisao realize he's in love with Hanako. By denying it also he might deny to itself as well. Admit it, coward! Yeah, definitely. But if we deny, we can go in a route... No, never mind. There's no Miki route. Too bad, no Miki route. Admit it. To be completely honest, yeah, I do. I'd appreciate if you didn't tell anyone. Hey, wow, you can trust me, no problems there. To be honest, I think it's kind of cute. If you want to go for it, don't let me stop you. Ah, thanks. She may say that, but She was just talking about Hanako having issues. Still, I want to hold myself to the words I said. Hanako's problems don't matter. I'll deal with anything that comes up, because I want to help her. The next day, everyone will know it. No! And Hanako will die of embarrassment. No, 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 no. Now all of China knows you're thirsty. No. Why thirsty? Why can't we just in love? If there's even the smallest possibility that I can pull Hanako out of her depression and seclusion, then I should work towards that, no matter what. If she needs a prince, then I will be that prince. As I think about the possibility of a relationship, I can see Miki grinning at me while watching my face. I'm no doubt blushing, and looking away from her only makes her laugh. Miki gives off a different vibe from the other girls. Talking to her feels more like talking to a guy than a woman. Yeah, that's what makes her good, right? That's what makes her interesting. It's tomboyish vibes. And who doesn't love a good tomboy, huh? She just needs short hair, and we got a tomboy here. I don't mind even a tomboy with long hair though. As long as it's tomboyish. Her saying she prefers mere company doesn't help to dispel that notion either. Glancing at my watch shows that lunch break is ending in only a few minutes. Time to start heading back to class. Lunch is about to end. Want to head back? Yeah, we'd better. Yeah, no, you're right. Actually, yeah. I can easily imagine her with short hair. Yeah, if you make her short hair, you definitely see even more a tomboy. Interesting. But she looks good even with long hair, though. I pick myself up off the grass and dust myself off, offering a hand to Miki to help her up as well. She takes it and easily pulls herself up, showing the muscles moving in her toned bare arms in the process. Tomboy confirmed. Perfect, perfect. We need the Mickey route. We need the Mickey route. Who cares about the other routes? Okay, we need the Mickey route now. Came to think of it, why aren't you wearing the normal girls' blouse? It's too hot and constricting. The boys' uniform is better anyway. Guys, do you need any other convincing? Do we need any other convincing here? Cause she can't put that on it. Well, she still has the skirt. No, but the boys' clothes should be... Well, yeah, it's a little wider after all. Yeah, it's a little bit... It's a little... of a bigger size. You can do it with one hand, but it's hard. Ah, the unbuttoning the... Okay, now I get it. Yeah, I don't remember if the girls one has have buttons. But that feels like a good reasoning. She throws her arms around, a bit to emphasize her point, which has the side effect of showing off one particular part of her body that would be especially constricted by her blouse. The front one. The two of us start the walk back to the main building, to the gardens, talking as we go. Sounds like you're settling in well. That's a relief. It was pretty surprising to get a transfer student at this point in the year, considering the exams are coming up. Don't remind me. Don't worry about them. Just cram it and you'll be fine. That doesn't sound like a good advice. She claps my shoulder a couple of times as she grins. I don't think she takes school very seriously. You seem a smart guy. And Muto's taking to you well already. You're like a hand in a glove. Now to work out whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. I still don't know what to make of this school. I've been here a few days, weeks already. But I still feel dazed at times. You'll get used to it. Give it some time. It's only a high school, just like any other. She makes it sound so simple, but I never thought about it in that way. To me, Yamako symbolized a marked shift in my life. I was no longer normal. I was different. And was to be educated with other different people. And yet I'm walking back to class and taking casually with a classmate during lunch. After watching some others play a soccer game. All perfectly normal. Maybe she has a point. Maybe I should just look at Hanako in the same way. Everyone has their own issues. This is hardly something unique to Yamako. After all, it's only a high school, just like any others. As we continue to talk, I find myself smiling. Miki and I are very differently people, in almost every way, but it feels good to have gotten to know another classmate a bit better. No wait, I wanted more Miki! I wanted more Miki! No! I hope she returns in the future. Maybe she appears in the Hanako route. Because each route had a unique character, right? We got Emi's mom, we got the art professor, and the other, the museum owner. Then in Lily's route we got her sister, and her sister's boyfriend. And now we are having Miki. Interesting. So maybe Miki will appear a little longer. I hope so. Okay, we are here. We are here less than 2 hours. But I really need to work on the thesis presentation, so I think we'll end up earlier today. Well, we always end up earlier, so we end on time, right? So as I said, next week there won't probably be a stream of Katawa Shoujo because the deadline of the game jam. But after that we are way more free. Okay then. Let's see if we have some red power and we can go raid someone. Okay. Thanks a lot for coming by. I hope next time we can see Miki again. Well, we should still focus on Hanako though. Sorry Hanako. For a moment I almost swayed my resolve. Almost. Okay then. Thanks a lot for coming by, I really appreciate it, and we'll see you whenever happens.